Hi, this is Roger and Mojo. Thanks for dropping by. I've got this funeral today, which I really don't want to do, but I have to. It just takes a day out of a week that I really can't spare a day. That's my problem. I realised I didn't do a video yesterday. Well, we can't have one every day, I'm afraid. And until I can get out past this weekend, I'm not in a normal sort of frame of mind because this talk is doing my head in. I hate that expression. So the only thing I can do today, I thought, is we'll have a quick walk round and update on the garden. Now my bonsai are getting moved into different places. This Acer, by the way, is looking gorgeous. So my bonsai are in various places to get some sun, not too much, and some are in a place where they don't get any. So they're all over the place at the moment. So coming round here, this was the first bit of planting that was done, and we've got primroses and violets. They seem to have taken okay. That primrose over there has grown some new flowers, so the Camellia is growing a lot of new growths. That's not doing much at all. This laurel, if you remember last time we looked at this, we had little green buds. Now we've got a mass of green. So my theory of getting a nice green wall along here rather than looking at a fence is working. And the good news is the wisteria is coming out. I'll see if I can zoom in on one of the blooms. Could have done with some sunshine, but can't have everything. So gorgeous, gorgeous blooms on wisteria. There's loads more still to open. It's only just started. So that's that. The little geraniums that Hannah planted along there, they look fine when we've got some wet weather. If the sun gets on them, they wilt. They basically haven't got roots yet, although I would imagine they might be starting to grow roots now, probably. Now in the pots around here, the two pots of buddleias, the buddleias are starting to push the strong growth out now. But we can't expect to see blooms on those till probably August or even September. The geum's looking good. It's got a lot more blooms on now, opening up, and I haven't seen a bloom die on it yet. So I don't know how long they last, but they seem to be doing well. This conifer's putting out a lot of new growth. I brought that from the other house. More bonsai around here. And something I forgot to point out last time, the maple is looking good. So that was all buried in the undergrowth last year, but you know, managed to find some space for it to give it its own space. So that looks good. That was virtually lost in the heat wave last year. It dropped all of its leaves well before autumn time. And luckily it didn't grow any new ones that year, because that would have exhausted it completely. So that's that. Then the little group of plants around here has got one missing. This is the rosemary, and then we've got this Orchids. This is looking good. I don't see bees and, well, we haven't got butterflies in the main yet in the garden, but it doesn't seem to be attracting the bees yet. The lavender's now got buds, or at least one of them has, because two separate plants in there, two different ones, and the herbs. And up here is the catmint, which is coming into bloom. Why is it up here? If you look at all the broken pieces, Mojo found it, and he thought it was highly entertaining to roll in it, basically. So I've had to raise it up out of his way. Yeah, the greenery up there is starting to show. New growth is starting to come through now, and on some of the older wood. That's the bit I was worried about, was that the older wood wasn't going to shoot out. But again, if I zoom in on a bit, so you can see there new growth on the old wood. That's what I was waiting for, which will enable this to green up, and instead of looking all transparent, it'll look a nice sort of green boundary. Right, coming on round this way then. The yes, was that a comment? The Californian lilacs coming out now. The bees are attracted to that. Come on then, after you. Nuisance. And my Cymbidiums are out now. That's not where I want them. I want them over there where the bird bath is, because there they will get late afternoon sun. There they don't get any sun at all. They do get rained on quite heavily though, because it runs off the roof. So that's a temporary position. Yes, so the Californian lilac is looking nice now. The plants that got put up in there are now starting to get weeds growing around them, so I've got a long-handled fork coming. I've ordered it so that I can get some of these weeds out, otherwise they'll take over the whole space. But you know, you can see the foxglove coming up there next to the nettles. That little patch of nettles is getting left. There's quite a few of the butterflies lay their eggs on there. And then we've got this little group of that's chives and marjoram, I think that is, 3 different types. This unusual plant doesn't seem that happy at the moment. I might have to move that. Leaves seem to be going a strange colour. Still, if I lose a plant out of all the ones I got, so be it. And again, there's bonsai here. This isn't their final place, they're just here because initially I wanted them out of the sun, and now I want them to get a little bit. This little bit here gets late afternoon sun. So, and the little pink flowers in there are in fact a weed. But what's another word for a weed? A wildflower. So that's being left. It's actually growing in that sort of turned over one side pot. Again, foxgloves, that's pushing on. There's another foxglove up in there pushing on. So these are the ones from Carol. And the good news is this wisteria over here is now showing signs of life, which was beginning to be a bit of a worry because it wasn't. So we do actually have some growth on this wisteria in various places. We've even got some coming out on the that old thick trunk there. So it is going to come. Now that's got to be looked after, that wisteria, and not allowed to get mad like it was when I first moved in, where it took over the whole hedge and that conifer tree. So this will be kept under control this year, and it can just be kept in this area. You know, it starts to escape and then bits can be cut off. Don't get under my feet, cat. I'm not looking at where you are. And then the rest of Carol's plants are tucked up in here. The hellebores have taken quite nicely now. I mean, these are, you know, this is new growth, so they're looking good. That little one over the back there's got new growth. This is new growth. This is all new growth, so they're going to be fine. So, and then the plants I didn't show last time, I've got 2. I call them indoor geraniums because a lot of people keep them as house plants, but they're fine outside, but they won't make it through the winter if it's too cold, so they have to come in. They've still got to be put in a, you know, something suitable to go in the garden. I haven't got round to that yet. So, you know, the new plants are coming on. We're getting there, and yeah, the wisteria's looking good now. But, anyway, that'll have to do for today. I've got to process this, and then I've got to go and sort myself out and get going for this flipping funeral. I'll be back mid-afternoon, I presume. I don't know. We shall see, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.